Hello, Kat.
Hello, John.
How the hell are you?
John, I'm good. How are you?
I am quite well myself, thank you.
That is wonderful.
Isn't it? Isn't it just wonderful?
Yeah.
Here, firmly in the taint between Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Yeah.
Oh, actually,
Although, no.
that's when we're recording. This is definitely going out after Christmas.
Yeah.
Probably 2 days after Christmas.
Okay.
Yeah?
There you have it. Something like that. I don't know.
I mean,
I don't have a calendar in front of me.
Are we technically kind of still in the taint then? Because there's still New Year's.
Well, you tell me. This is all your kind of.
I've actually just
department.
come up with some anatomical, sort of analogs that I'm not comfortable getting into right now.
Okay.
Okay, but
okay. Well.
but when we are recording this, we are firmly in the holiday taint, moving toward Christmas, whichever side you think that would be. And in my new analog in my head, it's definitely heading toward the front.
That's good.
Okay. Yep.
That's good.
Yep. Good stuff. What are we doing, Kat? I mean, from an existential point of view, what is happening here?
Oh, well, I don't know. We're recording a podcast.
Okay. I that's fair.
Is that okay? Can we just leave it at that?
It doesn't have to be any bigger than that. If you want to if you're satisfied with only that small myopic lens on our activities right now.
I'm all about the myopic, man.
Shoot. This close to Christmas? Mm-hmm. I am myopia. Cool. So we're making a podcast. It's about mistakes. We talk about mistakes, our mistakes, other people's mistakes, if they are in history or if they're on the show. That's a new way to phrase it after 4 years after 213 episodes.
Wow.
I've come up with a new way to group the mistakers who are the subject of this show together.
Sure.
I'm proud of me. Can you tell?
I am proud too. 213 episodes, huh?
I believe that's accurate.
That's a lot.
It's a lot. It's a lot of episodes for anybody. Yeah.
Oof. Oh
Yeah.
boy.
Yeah. So that's what we do. We talk about mistakes. And
Yeah.
we're about to talk about mistakes some more today.
I mean, that's the plan.
It is the plan. Sometimes we talk about other stuff.
Yeah, we've been known to.
We've been known to. We're not exclusively about mistakes, but that is the connective tissue, if you will, to most of what we do.
Yes, it is.
That joke particularly landed with Kat because Kat's been looking at fun photos today. Do you want to tell the mistakers about it?
I don't want to get into too much detail because spoilers.
Right, spoilers.
But I work on a medical show.
Right.
And because it's the kind of show that, it's like, oh, it's the weird and kind of wacky case this week, medical case we're going to do this week. And so they're always coming up with really weird shit, but most of it is all grounded in reality. So you get to look at some really interesting, real photos of people who are going through some pretty rough stuff.
Yep.
So, even in Zoom meetings, they'll be like, all right, well, let's take a look at, what do you guys got so far? And they'll just pop up right on your screen there. Can't avoid it. You're on camera, so you can't look horrified. You're like, normal.
That's totally great. No problem.
Wow, look at the work you've done there. It seems very, very accurate. Yep. That looks real.
Yeah. See, it's interesting because having grown up in a family where my biological father is a surgeon, so
right.
I was exposed to a lot of stuff really early so it just really kind of doesn't. I mean, disease photos are not great, but if I'm seeing surgery or something like that, it's like not a problem. I actually scrubbed into a few surgeries.
Wow, John, you should work on the show.
I would love it. I mean, I'm not exactly a consultant, but I could stomach it. I bet you.
Yeah.
I am looking for a job right now, by the way. You know that.
Oh, okay, well, let me see. Let me see if there's any availability.
Okay, we need someone who can stomach this stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep, I like it. What are the benefits like?
We'll talk about it off air.
Okay, fair enough. Anyway, all right. Well, I have created content this week.
You have?
I
created your own content?
I created my very own content in concert with my very own wife. Two of us created content together.
Oh.
just yesterday.
Oh,
It's
boy.
fresh
Okay.
out the content mill.
That's, I mean, I'm excited. I had no idea what we're going to be talking about today. And
I
so
know.
now I'm going to I'm going to get comfortable.
Okay.
And I'm going to hand over the reins to John.
Okay, Gareth, that's good. We'll do that.
You're John,
So-
by the way.
what's that?
You're John.
I am John. I am. I always have been. I've always said that. Yeah. So, Kat, we're in the combination of like not being, let me put it this way: being fun employed.
Sure.
I've had a lot more free time on my hands, and one of the things that I've found that I can control, besides my financial health and my working life and my career, is my own health. So I have dived into that fully.
Great. Good for
'cause
you.
There's no such thing as Dovin.
I mean, you can
nope.
dove in, but that's something else.
Dovin. It's like Coven is like oven is like that movie, the American movie. I think is that the name of that?
Okay.
Mm,
I'm
sure.
I'm dovening right now.
You're dovening. Okay, cool. So yes, so I've been I've been walking on the treadmill a lot, and lately we got on an app that I think people have mostly forgotten about called Meetup.
Sure.
Because it's like, we're like a bunch of our friends have moved. They moved during the pandemic, and so they're not local. It's like maybe we can meet some people who, or just, I was like, I want to do something physical, not with new people, but
Oh,
but
wow,
but then
John,
also
this
yes
is-
with new people.
Sure
But
you want to talk about this?
sure. Because we have a history of cycling together. We have
We
a cycling.
do. We have that shared history together.
We have occasionally been a group of people called the Psychopaths
It's true.
because you wouldn't let me call us the pedophiles.
Absolutely not.
That's right.
Not happening on my watch.
Right. But the Psychopaths have not been cycling much these days.
No, we're on a extended hiatus.
Extended hiatus, but don't write us off. It can happen.
Never. Can't.
But like in a time where it's like, okay, so I'm unemployed, so I really don't want to blow a lot of cash I don't have on a bunch of gear that I might need. And cycling is pretty gear intensive, can be anyway. I'm like, what can we do that requires almost no gear if you already have a couple of items? And it's hiking, Kat.
Yeah, it's great.
Hiking is what Michelle and I have gotten into, and we've been doing it now for I don't know, about 2 months, maybe a little more. And we belong to a little group that is local. And I will tell you this: I've lived in Southern California for 27 years now, and I know you've lived here longer, but
A little longer, yeah.
like your whole life. But
I moved here straight from the womb, so
That's right. I mean, well, you were here in the womb.
Also
the
true.
womb was here.
That's true.
That's true.
I mean, that's another existential conversation we could have.
It is, and we can get into that later if you want. But yeah. So I've been here 27 years, and I will tell you that something I did not know about the San Fernando Valley of Los Angeles, and that is the way that I refer to it always.
As you should.
Yeah. The San Fernando Valley of Los Angeles has many hiking trails that are like a 10 to 20 minute drive away from Pamplemousse,
How convenient.
which is my house.
Yes, it is. Of
My
course.
house is called Pamplemousse. And so we have been learning this over the past couple of months because we've been doing at least one new trail like every couple of weeks. So there are so many. And like, I know that like growing up in Indiana, I mean, hiking was flat. So there were no hikes. You just went on a walk.
Sure.
It was just, it was a walk where maybe there wasn't a sidewalk, and that was your hike in Indiana.
Got it.
But here we have these beautiful hills, all kinds of different plants and animals to observe and
Flora
be out
and
amongst.
fauna.
Flora and fauna. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, so we've been really getting into it, and it's been a lot of fun.
Awesome.
And,
That's great.
And the group that we're with, interestingly enough, I'm used to being the old guy in most of my friend groups because I think it could be because I'm very immature. So I befriend people who are younger than I am. But in this case, I will tell you almost everybody in this hiking club group, whatever, from the Meetup app, they are older than I am. I'm like the baby.
It's fun, isn't it? Isn't it fun
Yeah.
to be the baby? Yeah.
And Michelle is like the baby of the baby because she's like she's barely even walking at this point, comparatively.
Sure.
But I will tell you, age, it really is a number because some of these people can hike circles around us.
I have no doubt. Yeah.
It's a whole. Let me tell you, you really haven't lived until you go on a hike where you cannot keep up with the 70, maybe like into late 70s woman who is leading at a hell of a clip.
Incredible.
Yeah, and I have no idea what her actual age is. So if she's listening to this, I'm talking about somebody else.
Do you think she's listening, John?
I don't think she's listening.
Okay.
But I'm in this group long enough. You know me, I have a hard time keeping my mouth shut. I tell people about the podcast.
Sure, yeah.
Because it's like, hey, that's one more download. We're one step closer to the 10,000 downloads we need a week to make some money off this sucker.
One at a time, whatever it takes.
That's what I'm talking about. I don't meet a lot of people, but I do meet people. Between the Meetup app and job interviews, Kat. Should I be mentioning this podcast on job interviews? I don't know. Maybe that's not a good idea. I think maybe not. But that hasn't stopped me so far.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Have you really mentioned the podcast during a job interview?
During 2 different ones I have, yes.
John,
I know, right? It's
what
awful.
are you doing?
Well, one of them is one that I am still currently in the running for.
Oh, boy.
I know, right? So I'm really hoping to get that one. So hire me. Anyway, so anyway, we've been hiking, and we normally this group hikes on Tuesdays and Fridays, and we've really been just going to the Friday ones. And I had been like doing the treadmill on other days, and then on Friday we'd go and do the hike. And they do like even on the treadmill, I'm only doing 4 miles. But these people are hiking 5, sometimes 6 miles.
Awesome.
Yeah, and it's like real stuff out there in the world. So we've gotten really into that. And so like one of the things that we've been doing is occasionally on certain days, we will go by ourselves to the trails that we found out about and learned about by going with this group.
Great.
Yeah. And yesterday we woke up and we're like, all right, well, it's way past the time when any group would be going because it was like 11, but it's nice and cool out right now. We're heading into the rainy season in Southern California,
Indeed.
which could last 2 hours or could last 6 weeks. We'll find out.
Exactly.
So we were like, all right, we found this really good trail. We really like it. There's some like creek beds that are fun. They have some good rocks. Sometimes we steal rocks, Kat. This is a thing that happens because we have a patch in our backyard that is filled with rocks. And I'm convinced that the landscapers are stealing our rocks because somehow it's getting more and more sparse all the time. I don't know what to think.
Do you really think they're stealing
No,
a
I
rock?
really don't think that.
Oh,
But
okay.
it does look sparser. Sparser, yeah, sparse is a word. It does look a little sparser. There are some empty spots.
Okay.
So occasionally we will go, and if we see a rock, Kat, that tickles our fancy, we'll pick it up and stick it in my backpack.
What size? Like, are we talking like a baseball size rock? Bigger?
Sometimes a little bigger. I mean, we're not talking bowling ball size rock.
Sure.
But
Okay.
But I'm saying like bigger than a softball, smaller than a bread box.
Okay. That's
where I'm
decent
at.
size. Those are some decent size
Yeah.
rocks.
Yeah, and the way I look at it is not only am I improving my landscaping, but I am also making my hike more productive.
That's true.
Right?
You're getting a better workout.
That's what I'm saying. So we thought we'd do that, and it's much more. We don't like to do it when we're hiking with other people,
No.
because somebody might frown on us taking natural. Here's the thing, though, because all of these hiking trails are so close to home. Like most of these things are only maybe 2 miles away at the most. So it's like we haven't even really moved this rock that far away from its natural location. I mean, it's the same biome as far as I'm concerned.
That's fair. And eventually, when the human race destroys itself,
It's all gonna be the same.
It's all gonna be the same. So
Yeah,
I think you're good.
I think so. I feel listen, if you, the mistaker, listening right now, and I'm talking to you, not just all the mistakers, but you specifically, the mistaker listening right now, if you have a problem with me picking up rocks off of the hiking trail, I want to hear from you. And this is how desperate we are to hear from people. I'm just saying that because we just want to get an email at mymistakepodcast@gmail.com.
That's right. Let's talk about rocks.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I mean, I was kind of done with rocks, but let's
Well,
talk
no,
about
I mean,
rocks.
like, people
Let's talk about
email
rocks
us
that people
about
email
rocks.
us about.
That's what I meant.
And the problems that they have
Yeah.
with me being an eco villain picking up rocks. Anyway, so we decided yesterday we were going to do that. We were going to go for a hike, and we were going to leave. It was probably about, I don't know, maybe 11 a.m.
Okay.
So not too late in the day, but definitely like later than most people get started with these hikes.
Sure.
And this is one that we had done only once, and we really liked the trail, and we thought we'd do it. And so I got up and got out of bed, and I'm like, yes, we are going to hike. This is going to be good. And I did my things that are very me and age appropriate, which I brewed some coffee, Kat.
Great. Got to do
Yep.
that.
Because sometimes you need a little kick. And also I took my my medication that I take every morning.
That's good.
And then also I drank my psyllium husk fiber powder that I.
Oh.
This is very much an older person kind of thing. But that's I do that to promote bowel health, to
Sure.
get extra fiber intake. I feel like you're so smart. You're already sniffing out
So to
what's
speak.
going on. Yeah, so to speak, exactly. So basically we were really getting ready to go. So I'm like, I'm gonna shotgun this cup of coffee, and I have my psyllium husk powder. And so then Michelle's got her trekking poles. We both have our shade hats on.
Love it.
And our camelbacks for hydration. And we are good to go, baby.
You
We
guys
get
are
in the car.
pros, man.
We
You guys are
totally.
pros.
So the camelbacks we got for cycling, but they're invaluable for hiking.
They're
Like,
awesome. Yeah.
yeah.
We as well, Leah and I both will hike with camelbacks because why wouldn't you?
Why would you not? Like on a bike, you can use water bottles because you can mount them on the bike, no problem. And I see people who have special vests that fit their water bottles, but I'm like, I have one tube hooked up to a generous amount of water that is on my back.
Yeah, it's fine. You're good.
Yep. And not only that, you can put ice cubes in your camelback, which I do, and that's like air conditioning on your back.
Also
'Cause
true. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about Kat. From whence do you sweat the most when you are physically active? I'm
Yeah,
curious.
I would say probably my back and like around my neck.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think my back.
I am 100% a back guy.
Yeah.
To the degree that I was certain that my camelback was leaking one time because my whole back was soaking wet. And I'm like, what is going on here? I don't understand. Because when I was young, I could dance the whole night and I would just get like a light glow on my face. Like I did not perspire like, a mere, See, I would just get a sheen, a night, like just something that would just highlight my features in the club lights of where I was dancing.
That's lovely. It's nice.
Yeah, absolutely. Those days, Kat, are gone.
Oh no.
Yeah, it is. Shit, do not any longer be like that.
Shit, don't be like that.
Shit, do not be like that. It don't be. Because yeah, it just turns out all of my sweat glands are in my back.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. And they all woke up in the last few years, apparently.
Oh, hello.
So yeah. So anyway, that is a thing that happens is that my back gets soaking wet and I have to change shirts no matter what.
Sure.
So anyway, so it's a nice cool day. We're gonna go to this place with many fine rocks, and we're gonna hike.
Many fine
And-
rocks.
Many fine rocks, and so we arrive. I have. Now this is a question. Another one. It's like this is the hey, everybody write in and cancel me if I'm
Oh.
bad. I have a hat that I wear because I am very pale and I have already had skin cancer like one time, like bad enough that it had to be like removed.
Sure.
And not just frozen off with nitrous oxide. All my gingers out there, you know what's up. Or liquid nitrogen, not nitrous oxide, liquid nitrogen.
Oh boy,
See?
better
Yeah.
edit that out.
Yep, totally going to edit that out. Anyway, so I wear this. It's called, or in my, it's called a coolie hat,
Okay.
but that word is maybe deprecated because
Why?
coolies during. Did you ever watch Deadwood? Yeah.
A couple episodes. I wasn't like
Yeah.
a huge Deadwood head, but I
Right.
certainly have seen it.
Is that a deadhead? No, that's something different. Anyway, but like Chinese workers in that time were called coolies. I believe
it.
that's not okay.
Probably,
anymore. And I don't
can't
mean for it
imagine.
to-
Yeah, I'm sure it's not okay.
Yeah, but I wear that hat because it provides a lot of shade and
Yeah.
it keeps the sun off of my face for the most part. And I want to keep my face in that nice pallor,
Sure.
becoming a Dracula.
Is that is that the hat behind you right there?
It is.
Okay.
It is.
I can
And
see
actually, it may not even be technically a coolie hat because I think those are they're fully conical.
Right. It's like kind of pointy at the top. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
can't. I mean, I would love to see you walking around wearing one of those one day.
You just come hiking with me and my oldsters, and you're gonna see that. It happens.
Okay.
Every Friday at least. Anyway, but we're not with our oldsters. It's just the two of us, and we get there, and we're almost there, and I realize what I've done, which you already realized earlier when I described it to you. I have done two things which are known to accelerate the process of solid waste disposal.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have shotgunned a cup of coffee and I have drunk psyllium husk powder mixed into water. And so I'm like, I said, okay, well, I don't want to ruin this for Michelle. And we got up and got dressed and did everything we needed to get. I'm like, hey, Michelle, do you have any napkins in your glove compartment? And she's like, oh, yeah, I do. I'm like, well, bring them. It's probably not going to happen.
Oh my
But
God.
just in case, we're out there in nature. It's natural to take care of business out in nature, right?
Okay. At this point, have you explained to Michelle what's going on in your bowels?
Well, yeah, I'd said,
Okay.
I drank a cup of coffee, and
Okay.
this is something we have been together for 22 years almost at this point.
Sure.
So we talk about that stuff, and it's like, look, here's the deal. I did some stuff that's really good for me, but might not be really good for this hike.
Got it.
So let's prepare ourselves by having wiping materials handy.
Great.
For if the ordeal needs to happen.
The ordeal.
The ordeal. It is. I mean, let's face it.
Yeah.
Anywhere but your favorite toilet
Sure.
is a semi-traumatic experience.
Okay. Agree to disagree.
You don't think so?
No.
Oh, I have okay, here we go. Here's another thing. I am trolling for email this week, Kat. If you, the mistaker I'm talking to right now, have issues around only wanting to take care of number 2 at home, let us know about that. You can just be like, I only like to do number 2 at home. If you have a funny story around how much you want that and things that you have done in order to make sure that you are at home when that needs to happen, that's fun too. mymistakepodcast@gmail.com. You still with me here, Kat?
Oh man, I am dialed in.
Are you riveted?
I can't wait. I hope.
right.
I hope I know the ending.
Yeah, it'd be great. So, all right, we're driving to the trailhead,
Okay.
which happens to be like not at the end of a road, but actually kind of in the middle of a semi-busy road.
Okay.
So we get to the place where I have to do a U-turn in order to get on the correct side of the road to not have to run across traffic.
Great. Good. Safe.
Yeah. And there's like some ridiculously expensive vehicle that people drive in order to let you know how much money they have, kind of thing.
Sure.
And it is barreling at us. I'm about to do a U-turn,
Oh.
and it's traveling at a high rate of speed. Now they have a stop sign that they have to stop at. And I'm like, I'm making a left-hand turn to do this U-turn because that's what U-turns are, left turns. And right, and this guy is not slowing down at all.
Oh, no.
And now here's a thing you may or may not know about me when I'm driving. If people do demonstrably idiotic things on the road, I tend to be a person who calls them out verbally in the car. I don't make gestures necessarily, but I say a lot of things that were that person capable of hearing me, which they are not, it might be really hurtful for them to hear these things said about them.
I see.
Yeah. So that happens. So, and I will tell you this, my wife is even better at it than I am.
Nice.
So we're both just letting loose with a sheer torrent of invective at this point. So we finally do the U-turn after cursing and shaking our fists at this person.
Sure.
And we park and we are like, that son of a... And we get out and we open up the trunk and we get our stuff out and we go and we hit the trail.
Great.
Yep. And we're gradually calming down from this because hiking is it can be relaxing. It should be relaxing.
Exactly.
It's a whole
Yeah.
So we're starting to chill out and it's all good. And we get I don't know, maybe a mile into what we're looking at being a 5-mile hike, and I said, "Oh boy, it's a good thing I asked you to get those napkins, Michelle." And she went, "Oh."
Oh, no.
And I'm like, "You didn't get the napkin?" And she's like, "No." And I'm like, "Oh, we were both so upset about this person in the ostentatious vehicle who almost killed us.
Sure.
That we forgot to bring the napkins." So I'm like, "All right, well, I'm all right for now. I just it's going to happen eventually. We might not be able to do the whole 5 miles, but we're gonna." And then we realized, oh wait, but Kat, we are very COVID conscious people. Michelle actually has on her person 2, not 1, but 2 masks. And I have on my person 1 mask.
Oh, boy.
Now, masks by definition are not supposed to be that absorbent. They're kind of supposed to do the opposite of that.
Sure.
But we figure, how bad could it be? We have some things that we could work with. If we have 3 masks that we could use, and now we don't have like a Ziploc bag that we could then bag that up and pack out.
Yeah.
So we would have to be bad hikers at that point because we're not going to carry them with us.
I see.
Uncontained, if you will.
Okay.
But I'm like, all right, well, at least we know there's a plan B in effect that can happen. Right? And there were a couple times where I would pause and I'd be like, nope, I think I'm good. We can keep going. Okay? And the scenery is beautiful. And we even had some liquid sunshine happen, which is like, it's rain that is so light. It's not even drops. It's just sort of a mist in the air that's
Very
sort of
nice.
suspended. That's a wonderful thing when you're hiking, to have that kind of stuff. So we're moving and everything's cool. And we even find a couple rocks that look nice. So we put those in the old pack and
Sure.
we're moving on.
You carry those out.
Yeah. And then, so then all of a sudden Michelle stops and I'm like, what's going on? She's like, we got a problem. I'm like, what? She's like, I am going to have to do that. So it's like, I don't know if 3 masks is going to be enough for 2 people to do all the business.
Yeah.
Might need to be done doing. So now we have a real dilemma, and we are about 1.5 miles into this, so it's going to be a 3-mile hike either way, at least. And we decide, okay, all right, yep, we need to turn around and go back. It's nothing wrong with 3 miles. 3 miles is respectable.
No,
it's not the 5 miles I wanted, but it's 3 miles, and it's going to be fine.
Something.
So we turn around. and we're headed back, and we're, it's one of those things where it's like, it's touch and go. You're like, oh, I don't think I'm going to make it. Wait, nope, I think I'm going to be fine. A lot of that happens. Now, Kat, what's kind of strange is we had not gone that far down the trail.
Okay.
There aren't that many side trails. There's pretty much one main path on the route that we were taking.
Okay.
Somehow, a family group of 8 people ends up in front of us.
Oh, weird.
And now you've done your share of hiking. I know you have.
I have.
You encounter people on the trail.
Yeah.
And these were the type of people who you encounter on the trail who very much like to be abreast,
Okay.
if you will, to the point where they're not going to go single file to let you pass them no matter what, no matter how much faster you are going than they are. This was a problem for me. It was also bad that they in no way would acknowledge us.
Oh.
They did not turn around and make eye contact and look at us. Nope. It's like 8 people in varying rows of 2 or 3 abreast, blocking the entire trail. And this is not the kind of trail where you can just go around. There is chaparral in abundance on the sides of this trail, and that is messy. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I sense you have a question.
I do have a question.
Oh, okay.
Wow, you're very good. Did you at any point up into this moment that you're describing, did you say good morning or hey everybody?
Always.
How are you guys
we
doing?
We always do that when we see people on the trail.
Okay.
Because it is LA, there are always people who will not acknowledge your existence.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and they are usually wearing matching athleisure gear outfits.
Sure.
Yeah. Now, on these trails that we've been going on lately, it's not as bad because we used to go to, there are a couple of, like when we lived in Hollywood, we would go to Runyon Canyon.
Yeah, there's some trendy spots that
and
everybody
Fryman
goes to.
Canyon is another one where it's like, it's basically a fashion show up there.
Yeah.
You can get all kinds of industry gossip just walking around listening to what people are talking about on those trails.
It's a good place to spot a celebrity. It's happened to me.
For sure. It's also a good place to spot a lot of dog shit that has not been picked up by those celebrities who are walking their dogs.
Also true.
Because they're celebrities. Why would they do that? So this is not that. These are people who are like, I mean, you still do find a couple of those people, but most people who are doing this, they're kind of serious about it. And they live nearby and they know about these trails, and it's like, yep, okay, this is good. We're not going to see a lot, as you don't see nearly as many people. And like, I mean, at Fryman, at least half of that thing is paved, and it just feels like, okay, I'm just walking on a road that is impossible to drive on.
Right, like a fire road or something.
Right. But this is not that.
Okay.
So we've been greeting people as we go by. Then here's the problem: when you come up behind people, and this is what was really weird. We were trying to figure out, where did these people come from? Yes. Because the only real answer is that they started hiking and they turned around even sooner than we did because they're between us and the.
Were there like kids with them or older people that maybe couldn't hang?
It was like I would go from mid 40s all the way down to like a 6-year-old. There's
Got
8
it.
people.
Okay.
So it's like Yep. And I mean, and diverse, you'd love it. You'd love it if they weren't shitheels, if they were not so uncool as, I mean, honestly, it was really great. It was a little bit of everything going on there, and it was clearly like a family group. They were close, and I loved that. But then they also like just totally ignored us and pretended we weren't there.
That's
and
weird.
Kat, both of us had to shit, and we were trying to get we were trying to get a leg on to get through this. So because we now are at the point where it's like we've decided we're not doing this outside. We've got to make it home.
Okay. Did you tell them that you guys had to shit?
No, we did not do that, Kat.
Okay.
Because while I am more direct than the average human, I am not that direct.
I see.
I really am not. It's not a thing. So finally, at some point, they all it's as though they thought of this idea themselves. They just thought, oh, let's step off to the side of the path and talk to each other about something that is a concern right now.
Okay.
And it was like, and we're walking and we walk by again, no eye contact.
That's weird.
No acknowledgement of existence. So weird.
Not cool.
So weird. It's like, are you afraid of us? There are 8 of you. You could kick our asses.
Yeah,
It's not,
and you and Michelle are not intimidating people by,
not.
No, you're
No.
two very friendly, lovely people, and
Kat, I have a big goofy mustache and a coolie hat on. It's not a thing, but I look like a super friendly weirdo.
you do.
I
absolutely do.
Thank you. So yeah, they start and finally, and so we then spend like the next quarter mile just being like, what the hell was up with those people? That was so weird. Like, can you not have a recognition of, I get mad when it's 2 people who are walking and taking up the whole path. Mm-hmm. And this was like 3 layers of people who were like, ugh. Anyway, so bad. Anyway, so we get past them and we're moving and we're going and we get, and, so finally, like, and we're like, there were a couple times it was like, oh boy, okay, nope, I got this. We're going, it's fine, it's good. And so we make it to the trailhead and we're good.
Awesome.
It's like, I think we're gonna do this. We're gonna make it. And Kat, it's just a little background here. Michelle and I lived together for 10 years in a 700 square foot apartment.
Yeah.
That had how many bathrooms? 1. Okay. So when we moved into the house that we live in now, and it had 2 bathrooms, that's 1 per person.
I know.
Like, you want to talk about luxury? You can you can drive that car that asshole who almost didn't stop at that stop sign. You can have that kind of luxury, but no, the biggest luxury is having 1 toilet per human who resides in the house.
Yeah. It's pretty,
Actually,
pretty sweet.
Maybe the biggest luxury would be having 1 extra one so you can choose whether I want to go to that one or that one, even if the other person, there we go. See?
Hello.
Look.
Yeah. And again, we came from a single bathroom home.
Yep.
And into this house, and we have 2.5 baths, meaning there's a toilet in there and a sink, and that's it. It's crammed into our laundry room.
Yep.
And I'm gonna use this weird bathroom.
Sure.
Because I can.
Yeah, absolutely. But I have to, I think pound for pound, the biggest quality of life step up. There are lots of things. You can get a swimming pool, you can do whatever. But
Sure.
the biggest quality of life step up is going from N minus 1 toilets, with N being the number of residents of the house,
Great.
to N equals the number of toilets that you have. That's the biggest quality of life step up you can make, I think.
It is pretty great. I agree.
Yep. So we have that. But anyway, we're not there yet. We are at the car, and we are rapidly, I'm throwing my hat in the back of the car. We're taking off our camelbacks. She's got her trekking poles. We're throwing them all in the trunk of the car. We get in the car, and we start to go.
Okay.
And now, at this point, I'm like, I don't want to get on the freeway because it's going to be stupid. It's lunchtime, and it's going to be a lot of traffic. And Michelle said, you're right, we shouldn't get on the freeway, but we should take this road up to this road.
Okay.
And I said, I hear you, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to take Ventura.
Oh.
Because Kat, I don't know if this has been established in previous episodes, but sometimes I'm dumb.
For those of you who don't live in the greater Los Angeles area, Ventura sort of runs the length of the valley, pretty much. And boy, is it busy. It's a very busy street, no matter what time of day, or, it's always busy.
Well, and at lunchtime, it's extra busy because it's lined with restaurants. And it just also so happened that there were like 7 different places where it's under construction right now, because this is the time of year when all of the infrastructure work in LA takes place. Like right when it's no longer 100 degrees out, but we haven't really fully entered the rainy season. Mm-hmm. If there's going to be one that year, which is determined by, I don't know, a roll of the dice. But
something like that.
Yeah. So we get on Ventura, and Kat, so much construction. So much being stuck and just sitting there going, this can't be good for either of us. And the worst part was Michelle was totally right. We should have taken the path that she had outlined.
Sure.
But I somehow knew better. And I was going to do what I was going to do. But I won't keep you in suspense any longer. I've been telling this story for 41 minutes, which is amazing. We made it home.
Yay.
We did.
Woo.
But it was a near thing. Like it was, I was very nervous unlocking the front door. I was not certain that we were going to be all right.
Whoa.
But one of the great things about this is the victory yawp. When both of us are firmly seated on our own individual commodes and we're celebrating and we're definitely within earshot of each other because Pamplemousse is not large. And it's like, woohoo, we did it.
Amazing.
And we still got a 3-mile hike in. So I don't know, mistake, Kat, or not mistake?
Doesn't seem like it.
It was very nearly a very bad mistake.
It could have gone very wrong very quickly.
It could have gone pear-shaped so fast, and it did not. Did not. We made it. Mm-hmm.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I have been in a similar situation, but we were not a mile or two from the trailhead. So back in the thick of the pandemic, because we weren't working and because there was nothing else to do, we started hiking like you guys did. And we were driving up into the Angeles forest.
Yes.
And we decided we're gonna try to hike the entire trail of something called the Silver Moccasin Trail. And I forget how many miles it is, but we were doing it a chunk at a time. Beautiful trail, takes you you're kind of up along the crest of the mountains for a good amount of time. It's just beautiful, really nice.
Sounds like it.
Really. And we're like maybe a couple hours into our hike, and I was like, oh, I gotta go. I think I gotta go.
Yeah.
So, and this was, there were not a lot of people on the trail. And this was not a very popular section, so it wasn't like a very it wasn't a very well-worn part of this trail, which is good.
Yeah.
Here's what I find.
No, nobody asked you. She does it all the time, John.
What is your watch doing?
It's just like, oh, I don't know. I didn't ask you to. I don't know what you think I asked you.
Oh, the Siri thing. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
I
Yes.
have that problem too.
God. Anyway, so
Yeah.
I was like, okay, Lee, you go down trail a little bit. I'm gonna walk off trail a little bit, but can you just give me a holler if someone's come? I just it's a very vulnerable position.
Of course.
that you're in when you have to do this in the middle of the wilderness.
Mm-hmm.
And so I knew I had to go, but I was having a hard time doing that.
Sure.
I had the opposite problem of you. I should have shotgunned some coffee and a bunch of fiber on my way my out the door. I didn't. So I was in the middle of trying to do this, and it was sort of working, but also not, and it was very uncomfortable. And I was like, I might be here for a while. I might just live here now because
Sure.
I can't stop what I'm doing because I'm in the middle of what I'm doing. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. You are in a business meeting, and business meetings do not end until there's some form of resolution
Exactly.
or revolution. Either way. I don't know.
So yeah, it was a very uncomfortable several minutes. But John, I powered through.
Hell
and,
yeah.
I did what I had to do.
You are a business lady taking care of business.
And we got the hell out of there.
Nice.
But and also
were you equipped with something to take care of the situation? The après
yes.
act,
Indeed, we had
Okay.
some handy wipes.
Nice.
And we probably had napkins because we had packed a lunch because we were gonna be gone all day.
There
So
you
yeah,
go.
I had what I needed. We had hand sanitizer because it was
Sure.
pandemic.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I had the equipment.
Nice. I don't think I'm ever going out again without something. And it may just be that I always have an entire roll of paper towels in my Camelback.
Yeah,
I
why
don't know
not?
if it'll hold one, but we'll find out.
You'll find out.
I will find out because that is an eventuality that like I'm realizing. Oh, we're hiking a lot more than we used to, and normally I can kind of count on the old system being like, okay, road is blocked. There's no detour. You're just going to have to wait.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
No, but when you're going out on the reg, it's only a matter of time before you're going to have to face that situation.
Yeah, just throw that roll in there. You'll be glad that you did.
I believe that I will. I believe it. Well, I hope that I haven't disgusted or grossed out any of our mistakers.
No, it wasn't graphic at all.
Not really. I mean, we could go there if you want.
We shouldn't.
No, we should not. We should make sure that Anne edits this one though, because I know how much she loves to hear about fecal fiascos.
She does like really graphic, disgusting stuff. It's kind
She
of her
does.
thing.
She
Yeah.
does. Totally.
She'll like it.
Yep. She has said as much.
John, there's something that we did together, and it was not hiking in the woods.
That's true.
We went
And
out.
It had nothing to do with feces either.
It didn't at all.
At all. Not even a little.
We went out and we shared some drinks. We went out and had a night.
I had one of the best times that I have had in recent memory, hanging out with Kat and drinking alcohol. Let's just call it what it is.
That's what we did.
We also ate some wings.
We did.
Which at the beginning seemed way too spicy, and by the end were absolutely delicious.
They were really good, and we had some fancy French fries.
Yep.
And yeah, we had a great time. And we got kicked out of the first place because it was 8:30 when they closed the kitchen and the bar.
8:30 was last call, and at 9 they kicked us out. They're like, "You don't got to go home, but you can't stay here." It's like, are you kidding me?
It was a little weird.
It was super weird.
Yeah, it was a bar. What do you? No, you're a bar. You're not supposed to close at 9.
It was so weird. So then Kat came up with this great idea of like, let's go to this sort of like studio adjacent old school place.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
very cool,
yes,
very cool spot.
Yeah, I'm like, let's totally do that. So we hopped into my way too old and broken Prius, wearing masks. I want everyone to know.
Absolutely.
Safety first. And we went to that place where they told us we cannot seat you. And it was like, but it was weird. Like, do you remember? Here's the way I remember it. It's like she was holding out hope, like, if you want to hang out, maybe something will happen. And then when it seemed like we might actually do that, she was like, yeah, it's never going to happen. We're going to close and you're going to be still sitting here waiting for something.
Well, I think she said, you could go try your luck in the bar, I think is what she said.
Well, right. And this is, just so people know, I am a holdout. I do not, I don't go into interior spaces without wearing a mask, and you can't effectively drink alcohol with a mask on. God knows I've tried.
That's hard.
But so we ended up, we closed that place out and left with a huge crowd of people.
Yes.
I'm still proud of that parking job though, because somehow we did not end up paying like valet and all that.
Yeah, no, it's true. There was no paying for any parking the whole night,
No,
which is impressive.
that's right. And part of it was just,
the place where we had the wings was the second place we'd went to. The first place we were turned away as well because it was too busy.
That's you were turned away. I never even made it there, but I came and got you, and
I was like,
we put
abort,
my
John.
casserole dish in the car, and we took off. Right. But that was actually so it was the first one. The second one we actually got drinks and appetizers. The third one was there was no room in the inn.
No go.
So in the spirit of Christmas, we were turned away.
John, which one of us is Joseph and which one of us is Mary?
I mean, it's dealer's choice. It really makes no. Much like Jesus, or much like Joseph and Mary, we had not consummated anything, no matter what any
true.
AI anywhere was hoping might happen. And so yeah. So we're already like, we were turned away at the first place. Second place, we got kicked out at 9 p.m.
Yeah.
Third place, we never even got, it was not going to be a thing.
No.
So we go to the fourth place, which is the same place where Kat had her birthday.
True.
Not too long ago. But we did not go into the back area, which they claim is an outdoor area, but is fully encased in plastic. So not really outdoors. We went to the front
We were in the front area.
Yes.
Yes.
But Kat did go in and take care of ordering the drinks and bringing them out.
I did that.
Yep. Which was, that was a bit, that was the place where we saw Melissa McCarthy the last time when we were there for your birthday.
Yes.
Because, hello, this is Toluca Lake where the famous people drink,
Yes.
apparently.
It's very swanky.
I'm convinced Anne is Melissa McCarthy because she wasn't there that night at your birthday, and there's no way she would have missed it. So I think this whole she's got a secret identity.
This all makes sense because I've never seen them both in the same place
Together,
at the same
right?
time.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yep. All right, Anne, explain yourself. So then we only had one drink at that spot.
We did, and I feel like that was probably enough.
Yeah. But then we closed that place out too. So my text later that night after I had dropped Kat off at home and I had made it home myself was, we closed out 4 bars and I still got home by 11:30. I'm so disappointed in Los Angeles and proud of us.
That's right.
That's right. That's right.
We did good.
Mistakers, don't you wish you were there? It was like this, but completely unedited, unexpurgated,
And
uncensored.
Lots of drinking.
Lots of drinking. I'm sure we said more than one inappropriate thing.
I think we did. It was mostly that.
Yep.
And it was a weeknight, and I am working. So the next day, it was a little rough. It was a little rough day for me.
I felt bad because I kind of I wasn't even thinking about that while we were out because I'm like, I've been fun employed for so long now. I forget what it's like to have a job.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did. I felt a little guilty when I texted you the next day and you're like, things are a little rough.
A little bumpy this morning, but worth it.
Bumpy.
Do it again.
Totally worth it for me.
Totally worth it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun. We had a good
I did some couch camping the next morning. I was fine. One great thing about being involuntarily retired is that people are not really counting on you to do a lot of things. You have to motivate yourself. And I have done plenty of that, but not that day I did not.
Fair enough. And
Yes.
then, so that was on, was that on Tuesday or Wednesday?
I believe that was a Wednesday.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then that next night is when I went to a Sleater Kinney concert.
That's right.
You gave me the
411 on.
Yeah, the heads up on it, and I was able to get a ticket. Very small venue. Never seen them in that venue before.
Isn't that venue great?
It's beautiful. It's so nice
yeah,
and small.
yeah.
And
This is the Masonic Lodge at the Hollywood Forever Cemetery.
yeah, it's really cool. I didn't know it was a thing. I mean, I knew you talked about it.
Right.
When Patty was on a couple times ago,
Right.
talked about going to a show there, but I'd never been there. It was really nice, really small. Hadn't seen them in such a small venue in a really long time. Mm-hmm. And it was really fun. And, you know, I wore sensible, comfortable shoes, which I never used to
it was
do
Sleater
at
Kinney,
their
so
shows.
comfortable shoes is sort of the norm, I'm assuming.
Well, no, I mean, comfortable for
really?
me is like I had my Hokas on, like, you know, I was not trying to impress, but there's lots of Doc Martens and, you know,
Sure.
Vans and all. I was like, no, I'm not. I'm
You got
wearing,
your Riot Girls and your, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Got your Riot Girls. You got your middle-aged dudes. A lot of more dudes than you would expect. Go to these shows.
At a Sleater Kinney, anymore. Now, I say this having been to 2 Indigo Girls shows myself.
Sure.
So, you know, nobody expected to see me there, especially at one of them. I almost got into an altercation. And I did not go there intending that to happen.
I would hope
been-
not.
I've been to a lot of industrial punk and metal shows, Kat. That's one of the hardcorest situations I've ever been in. Was at an Indigo Girls show.
Interesting.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Well, there was a gentlewoman there who was very convinced that I had been checking out her significant other, and there was no way that was the case, but she was convinced, and I was unable to dissuade her from that point of view. But I do love the Indigo Girls. I like, especially their early stuff. What am I going to do?
Sure, yeah. Closer to fine. But the odd...
Have you listened to that now?
What do you mean to that now?
Well, because I think I asked you at one point if you liked Indigo Girls, and you're like, I feel like I should, but I...
No,
oh,
I mean,
okay.
I've seen them in concert.
Okay. Kid Fears and Closer to Fine. These are like some of the... Yeah.
Sure.
Seriously, like moody ass songs.
Very moody ass songs. No, of course.
ass.
John, come on. Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I like the Indigo Girls.
I'm sorry. Okay.
But
look, I'm not trying to out you as a non-Indigo Girls liker who happens to also be a lesbian, because I don't know if those two things are compatible. Are you allowed to not like the Indigo Girls? If you're
John, you can not like anything that you want if you're a lesbian.
Okay, I don't know the rules.
There's no actual rules.
Okay, fair enough.
But
do you get a handbook when you come out?
I joke about it sometimes, but you don't.
Okay.
It would be a lot easier if you did.
I feel like it's about time somebody came up with this shit. I mean, and it could make $1 million too.
It could.
Back when that was a lot of money.
But the crowds at a Indigo Girls concert and a Slater Kinney show are actually very different. It's not the same vibe.
Oh,
at
of
all.
course not.
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
I mean, well, these are generationally different groups. I mean,
Sure.
Yeah.
But so the fact that there's guys at the SK shows and not at Indigo Girls, like, it's just a different vibe.
I get it.
It's a different
I get
vibe.
it.
A lot of indie dudes who like indie music go to these shows.
Okay. Yeah. I haven't listened to as much Slater Kinney as I should.
Okay.
I need to do that.
Sure.
Especially because, like, my very, very good friend is a huge fan, and I should be more familiar with that music.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. But no, it was a great time. Blast. I got one of the coveted side bench seats because I was there nice and early.
Those are, yeah.
So I had a nice view. Yeah, I'm tall anyways, but even you get to stand on that little step even taller. So like,
and there's nobody behind you because you're at the side. That is,
so
yeah.
nice.
See, there's none of that guilt. I like, okay.
Yeah.
People of smaller stature than Kat and myself, tall people who have consciences, we're very aware of when there are people standing behind us who can't see. And half the time, I will end up going to the back of the venue just because if it's a standing room only.
That's nice of you.
Well, because I just feel like total crap. It's like I can't enjoy this because I feel like there's somebody behind me who's just hating me, and I can feel my back is getting hot. And you know how much I sweat on my back when I'm hot.
That's true. Well, when I used to go to these shows all the time, the goal was to get up front. And my friend Maria and I would just go as early as we could and just stand in line for hours to get as close to the stage as we can.
Sure.
And listen, if you're behind me, I'm so sorry, but next time get there earlier, and then you don't have to worry about some tall person in front of you. Like, I get I feel bad, but not bad enough to move because I stood in line for so long to get on this spot. Like, so I don't feel as guilty about it.
See, I have so much guilt because I'm part of the patriarchy. I'm part of the white oppressor. I'm part of the it's a whole thing. And also, like, not just Michelle, but like my whole life, I have tended to date or be in relationships with shorter women.
Sure.
And Michelle is 5'1". I am 6'2", I think, unless I've shrunk some more. But so it's a whole thing because she needs to be up at the front, and then if I'm at the front, there are people behind me who are pissed.
Sure.
So once we started going to shows together, I would we would go, and she would be in front of me.
Yeah.
And I'd be behind her, and it's like she'd be the only short person who could see. And that's how that all went.
Well, okay, but let me tell you this though. You know, when you go to stores and stuff, do people ask you to reach things off the top shelf?
Yeah, totally.
Well,
do you
then
think
you're
that?
good.
Do you think that makes up for it?
Yeah.
I
You're giving back to the community of shorties.
This is really funny, and this is what happens like once an episode where one of us will mention something that reminds us of a story. Not that long ago, after a hike, in fact, Michelle and I went to a Ralph's that we don't normally go to, and I will just tell you that Ralph's or Kroger, if that's your where you are geographically, the one store is not like another store. Like they can have a completely different floor plan.
Yeah, it's annoying.
It really is. It's like the whole point of having this store be everywhere and have the same name is like it should be enough the same that I can figure out where everything is just by going.
Totally.
Otherwise, it needs to have a lot more local color. If you're going to do everything differently.
Sure.
So we went there, and it was funny. There were two women, and one of the women was saying to the other woman, "Hey, can you get me that thing off the shelf?" And she was reaching up to get it, and I was like, "Hey, do you want me to get that for you?" And she turned around, and Kat, this woman, was my height, and I'm like, "Oh my God." I just pulled a total dude moment where it's like, I must be taller than she is because she's a woman. And she was taller than you. Like it was, and she's like, "Yeah, I think I got it." I'm like, "Yeah, I think you do." And I apologize. I'm like, you are probably equally able to reach things like I am.
Wow.
And I'm not threatened by that. But I did not see it.
You tried to tall-splain her.
I did. But it was fun. It was a fun moment.
It's
It's
fun.
like, why am I trying to help you? You don't need my help. Clearly, you don't need me. That can be hard to take as a white male person. Just so you know.
It must be difficult. Yeah.
It is. It's hard.
I can imagine that's hard.
It's
yeah.
so hard, Kat.
I know. I'm so sorry, John.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. So that's some stuff.
Yeah. Look, we did stuff. We have lives. We do things.
Totally. We go to shows occasionally.
Yeah.
We hike. We manage not to soil ourselves.
Yeah.
Barely.
Look at us.
But I know, right? We're the best.
We're so good. We're so good at
something.
life.
Yeah, we're good at some stuff. Yeah. I mean, unless you have more to add, Kat, I don't know how we can top what we've already done.
No, I don't think it's possible.
I don't think anybody could.
Nope.
Well, all right then. So, yeah. Do you wanna? Is there anything you want to say?
Oh, I mean, actually, there's something I've been thinking about all day that I really want to say to you right now.
All right. Well,
Fuck Mike Pence.
fuck Mike Pence. Pew, 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 pew,
Pew pew. Pew pew pew.
pew, pew. Yeah, that just happened.
It did.